Hello students, today we will start our sixth chapter of jurisprudence. As earlier we are discussing about the topic the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 and Rules 1945. With continuation, this is part 2 of this lecture. Retail sales of drugs. The premises of the retail sale of drugs are required to be specified as drug store. These retail shops do not require the services of a qualified person and can sell only such drugs where the sale does not require any technical supervision. Chemist and druggist. These retail shops have to employ the services of a registered pharmacist and can sell all types of drugs except those drugs which have to be compounded against prescriptions. Pharmacy or dispensing chemist. These retail shops employ qualified person and engage in the compounding of drugs. These are required to maintain equipment and space as laid down in Schedule N. The name pharmacy or pharmaceutical chemist or dispensing chemist should be prominently displayed on the premises. Two types of licenses are granted for the retail sale of drugs. General licenses. General licenses are granted to the persons who have premises for the business and who engage the services of a qualified person to supervise the sale of drugs and to the compounding and dispensing. कंडीशंस फॉर द ग्रांट ऑफ जनरल लाइसेंसेस. इसकी कंडीशंस क्या हैं, किन कंडीशंस में ये लाइसेंस मिलेगा. सेपरेट लाइसेंस इज रिक्वायर्ड टू बी टेकन फॉर द रिटेल सेल ऑफ शेड्यूल सी एंड सी ड्रग्स, शेड्यूल एक्स ड्रग्स एंड ड्रग्स अदर दैन दोज लिस्टेड इन शेड्यूल सी एंड सी and X. The following conditions should be fulfilled for the grant of licenses. The premises should be adequate, not less than 10 square meters, and equipped with the facilities for proper storage of drugs. A complete qualified person should be in charge of sale and distribution. C. License should be displayed in a prominent place and will be produced on demand by the drug inspector. D. No drug shall be sold unless such drug is purchased under cash or credit memo from a duly licensed dealer. E. No physician's sample or expired drugs will be stocked on the sale premises. F. Drugs will be sold in accordance with the provisions of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. G. The license will be renewed as and when required. Any change in ownership or qualified person shall be notified to the licensing authority within 3 months. Drugs should be sold on a cash memo in which following detail be required: serial number, date of supply, name and address of patient, name and address of doctor, quantity and name of the drug, batch number, expiry date and price. Number 6. Signature of the qualified person. No drugs belonging to ESI, CGHS, Armed Forces Medical Store or a government hospital shall be present in the licensed premises. In case of pharmacy, the compounding of the prescription would be done under the personal supervision of a qualified person. L. All registers and records required to be maintained under the Act would be preserved for a period of at least 2 years from the date of the last entry therein. Restricted license. Restricted license is granted to dealers or persons who deal in safe sale of drugs which do not require the services of a qualified person and hence do not engage a registered pharmacist. B. Vendors of drugs who do not have their own premises to sell drugs but distribute them in a specified area personally. C. Traveling agents of a firm for the special purpose of distribution to medical practitioners or dealers for supply of biological and other special products specified in Schedule C. Condition for the grant of a restricted license. The following conditions are required to be fulfilled for the grant of a registered license. A. The license would deal only in such drugs as can be sold without the supervision of a registered pharmacist. B. The license should have adequate premises equipped with storage facilities for proper storage of drugs. This condition, however, does not apply to vendors. C. The license would be displayed in a prominent part, and in case of vendor, the license would remain in his person and would be produced on demand by a drug inspector. D. The license would purchase drugs only from a duly licensed dealer or manufacturer. If the license is a vendor having no fixed place of business, he would buy drugs from such dealers as may be specified in his license. E. License would comply with the provisions of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act and rules thereunder in force. F. Drugs would be sold in their original containers. Before granting a restricted license, the licensing authority may take into account the number of licenses granted in a locality during the last 1 year and the occupation, trade or business of the applicant. Wholesale of drugs. General licenses under the following three categories are granted for the wholesale of drugs. A. License for the wholesale of schedule and drugs excluding Schedule X. B. License for wholesale of drugs other than those specified in Schedule C, C1 and X. C. License for wholesale and Schedule X drugs. Conditions for the grant of license for the wholesale of Schedule C and C1 drugs, excluding Schedule X drugs. A. The license should have adequate premises not less than 10 square meters equipped with facilities for the proper storage of drugs. B. License shall be displayed in a prominent part of the premises open to the public. C. No drug would be sold unless due precautions have been taken in order to ensure its preservation. D. The drugs would not be sold to persons licensed to retail them. However, this condition shall not apply to number 1. Hospitals, medical, education and research institutions or RMP for the purpose of supply to his patients. Number 2. Manufacturers of hydrogenated vegetable oils, beverages, or other non-medical products where such drugs are needed for processing their products. Number 3. An officer or authority purchasing on behalf of the government. E. The license would obtain prior permission of the license authority for the purpose of selling any additional category of drugs not specified in his license. F. The license would maintain records for all purchases and sales of Schedule C drugs under the following headings. Number 1. The date of purchases and sale. Number 2. Name and addresses of the firms from whom purchased and to the firms to whom sold. Number 3. Names and quantities of the drugs and their batch numbers. Number 4. Names of the manufacturers of the drugs. Number 5. Such records would be preserved for a period of at least 3 years from the date of sale. Conditions for the grant of license for the wholesale of drugs other than those specified in Schedule C, C1 and X. Point 1. The license shall be displayed in a prominent part of the premises open to the public. Point 2. Drugs would be purchased only for a duly licensed dealer or manufacturer. Point 3. The license would comply with the provisions of the drugs and cosmetics rules as applicable. Next, the drugs would only be sold to persons licensed to retail them. However, this condition shall not apply to the hospitals, medical education or research institutes or RMP for the purpose of supply to the patients. Next is distribution of drugs from the motor vehicles. Licenses can also be obtained for the distribution of drugs from motor vehicles. Separate licenses are necessary for drugs specified in Schedule C and C1. Second is the drugs other than those specified in Schedule C and C1. Conditions for the grant of license for the distribution Schedule C and C1 drugs from motor vehicles. Number 1. The license would be displayed on a prominent place in the vehicle. Drugs would be purchased only from a duly licensed dealer or manufacturer. Point 3. No drug would be sold unless due precautions have been taken in order to ensure its preservation. The license would obtain prior permission of the license authority for the purpose of selling any additional category of drugs not specified in his license. The drugs would only be sold to the persons licensed to retail them. However, this condition shall not apply to Point 1. Hospital, medical education or research institutes or RMP for the purpose of supply to his patient. Point 2. Manufacturer of hydrogenated vegetable oils, beverages, confectionery or other non-medical products where such drugs are needed for processing their products. Point 3. Any officer or authority purchasing on behalf of the government. The license would inform the licensing authority in written in case of any change in the ownership of the vehicle specified in the license within 7 days of such change. Conditions for the grant of license for the distribution of drugs other than specified in Schedule C and conditions for the grant of license for distribution of the other distribution of drugs other than those specified in Schedule C and C1. Point 1. The license would be displayed in the prominent place in the vehicle. Point 2. Drugs would be purchased only from the duly licensed dealer or manufacturer. Point 3. The license would comply with the provisions of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act and rules as applicable. Point 4. The drugs would only be sold to persons licensed to retail them. However, this condition shall not apply to hospitals, medical education and research institutes or RMP for the purpose of supply to his patients. Point 2. Manufacturers of hydrogenated vegetable oils, beverages, confectionery, or other non medical products where such drugs are needed for processing their products. Point 3. An officer or authority purchasing on the behalf of the government, the licensee would inform the licensing authority in return in case of any change in the ownership of the vehicle specified in the license within 7 days of such change. So thank you students for attending today's lecture. If you have any queries, please call me. You can call me and message me for any queries. So thank you students. Now we will meet in our next lecture. I hope so you had understand this lecture. Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 and Rules 1945. So go through this topic and let me know if any queries. I am there to help you. Thank you.